Welcome everybody to the International ERG Flash Docs for February 25. We have two very exciting guests today, Dr. Jinrong Li in the Department of Writing and Linguistics and Dr. Miguel Garcia in the Department of World Languages and Culture. And we're going to begin with Dr. Jinrong Li. She will, the title of her presentation is What Knowledge and Skills Can We Teach Students to Prevent Plagiarism, which is very relevant to almost everybody who teaches at Georgia Southern. So let me give you a little bit of an introduction. Dr. Jinrong Li is an associate professor, right? Or are you a full professor already? Sorry. Okay. I must have an old bio. I just did. Okay. So in the Department of Writing and Linguistics, and she taught at Iowa State, in Boston University, and in Beijing Foreign Studies University. Her focus is on second language writing and computer-assisted language learning. Her research has developed along three interconnected themes: feedback in writing instructions, language teaching technology in writing instruction, and information literacy and writing pedagogy. And she's been published in multiple places, and I believe there's also a book, but I will just list a few: Journal of Second Language Writing, Assessment Writing, Computers and Composition, Calico Journal, and International Journal of Computer-Assisted Language Learning and Teaching, and there are probably more. So that will leave you to Jinrong to do her presentation. Thank you for being here.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Thank you for the introduction. And I also want to thank the committee. I think the forum is a really good idea for sharing research and facilitating interdisciplinary collaboration. And I believe it probably takes a lot of time to put this together. So I just want to thank everybody for organizing these kind of events and giving me the opportunity to come and share what I do and to learn about my colleagues' exciting projects. And I also want to thank everybody for being here, and I hope that we can identify some areas to work together in the future. My name is Jinrong Li, and I teach in the Department of Writing and Linguistics, and my current research focuses on the teaching and assessment of language, particularly in the context of writing. And so today I have about 10 or a little bit more than 10 minutes, and I would like to share with you my work on the Partnership on University Plagiarism Prevention, or what we call the PUPP project. And let me start by describing the project and its primary objective. So this is a truly international initiative. I think we have 33 institutions right now involved, and we have 59 researchers from different disciplines. And this whole team is led by Dr. Martin Peters from University of Quebec. And together we have obtained a grant of $2.5 million for this 7-year research project. And we want to address the question of what knowledge and skills we can teach to help students prevent plagiarism. So here is a little bit motivation behind the project. Quite often when we talk about plagiarism, or when we think about plagiarism, we frequently think about the punitive measures that are implemented in many academic institutions. And we don't focus on the punitive measures. Instead, we focus on how to prevent the phenomenon. This is quite necessary because plagiarism continues to be on the rise, I guess, due to the widely accessible internet. And the increasing number of writing tools, which I will talk about in a few minutes, and also our increasing reliance on online instruction due to, especially in the context of COVID-19 pandemic. Not to mention, I think it's never fun to catch and punish students for plagiarism. This is never fun for me or any of the colleagues I have talked to. So that's why we wanted to tackle this problem from this angle and look at the kinds of knowledge and skills that we can teach students so that they can prevent plagiarism. And of course, there are probably many causes of this potential problem. But based on previous research, students' lack of knowledge and skill is definitely a major factor here. So I'm just going to point out two very interesting findings from previous research and some of my work that I have done in the information literacy studies. So in one of the studies conducted by Peters and Kadir 2019, the researchers actually compared students and faculty members' perceptions of the kind of skills and knowledge they need to prevent plagiarism in writing assignments. And so the interesting thing is that they found there is a huge gap between the expectations of the students and the expectations of the faculty members. So in this particular study, they surveyed over 1,000 university students and about 270 university faculty members. And the general finding is that while students expect to have more training in terms of developing those skills and knowledge, the university professors generally believe by the time you're in my university courses, you should have already developed those skills. And so here I have a table from the study to just show, and this particular survey item here is asking students to talk about how they feel about their informational skills. So how to do information search, how to formulate keywords, and how to use search engines and everything like that. So based on the findings, you could see that when asked about this, a huge proportion of students if you look at these numbers down here, over 87% of students, about 87% of students either completely agree or mostly agree that they think they need more development and training in developing those skills. And so, but if we look at what professors think, we'll see, so the professors were asked about the same question, just their expectations of their students' skills. So for professors, again, we look at the bottom 1, 2, around 70% of the professors believe that or expect that the students have already sufficiently developed their informational skills by the time they enter university courses. So this is a huge gap. And from the study, the same pattern or similar pattern exists for writing skills, referencing skills, how to document sources, how to reference documents, and also knowledge about plagiarism in general. So that's a huge problem. And my ongoing study, information literacy, also provides some kind of confirmation, although from a different angle. So this is from my own study about information literacy from the LILAC project. So in my study, I did not compare students and professors' perceptions. Instead, I compare students' self-reported information literacy skills and what they can actually do while searching information online to complete writing assignments. So I do this by collecting both questionnaire data and screen recorded videos of their information seeking behaviors online where they're doing information search and completing writing assignments. And it's quite interesting because in my study, and here what you're seeing is a summary of selected questionnaire items from my study. And you could see in most cases, many of my students actually confirmed that they think they had adequate skills. To do library search. I have enough skills to do research. I haven't had time to run the further analysis comparing different groups, sections of students yet. This is just a general overview. So this is a little bit different. Students think they have the skills. However, when I began to analyze the videos and even some of the question items down here already kind of indicate some problems there. You think you do, but actually maybe not. That's not true. And when I start analyzing the screen recorded videos, I just found quite the opposite. Most of the students, at least they can't do it effectively. Maybe they have some basic skills to search for relevant and evaluate information, but they just can't do it very effectively. And two very surprising and interesting examples would be in some of the videos, I found students talking about the type of sources that they need to use in their writing assignments. And they talk about journal articles, but they don't actually understand journal articles in the sense of academic journal articles, because they think in their description that they think journal articles were the same as magazine articles. So there are a lot of problems there, and it also indicates that they have some misunderstandings of what peer review is and how it can establish credibility. And so that was surprising, but interesting. And against that background, that's why the PUPP projects decided to tackle the problem of students' lack of knowledge and skills and how to address that in order to prevent plagiarism. And so broadly speaking, in the PUPP project, we decided to look at this issue and help prevent plagiarism by examining four aspects or four dimensions of the source-based analytical writing. Those dimensions include information competencies, writing competencies, referencing competencies, and knowledge of plagiarism. In other words, we believe in order for students to successfully complete academic writing, they need to be able to know how to search for information. They need to have informational skills, writing skills, referencing skills, and knowledge of plagiarism. So in the PUPP project, we're very interested in identifying the kind of strategies that experienced writers use in these different dimensions or aspects, and explore how these strategies can be taught to students so that they can develop those skills and improve awareness of plagiarism. And this project, although it's 7 years long, and we plan to complete this project in 2 phases. In the first phase, we focus on identifying strategies used by university students and faculty members. And we want to analyze the strategies and want to narrow down to a set of strategies that we believe will help prevent plagiarism if we teach them effectively. And then in phase 2, then we examine the impact of the teaching of those strategies using a pre and post intervention study design. So right now, we are just in the preparation stage. In this stage, we design and create instruments, and we try to establish validity evidence before moving on to data collection in phase 1. So, wait, I have one more slide. So that's where we are. And I think one of the exciting things for me about being in this project is to be able to share project data, because it involves so many different researchers from different disciplines and different countries and cultures. And so it's really good to be able to share all those data in the project and at the same time develop new ideas for future exploration. For example, I would love to have deeper understanding of the issue plagiarism in different disciplines, for example, and different culture, what similarities and differences there are, and how plagiarism is actually defined in different cultures. Those things are very intriguing to me. I would also love to look more closely at the role that technologies are playing right now. Like I have said, there's so many different writing tools, and one of them that recently caught my attention is called paraphrasing tools. If you do a Google search, you're going to see a list of them, and I still remember some of them. I think it's called wordtune.com, Paraphraser, and there are many, they claim they're artificial intelligence-based paraphrasing tools. And so I am really intrigued in knowing how students are actually using those, how those technologies are affecting students' perception of plagiarism, and whether or not those technologies can facilitate students' development of skills and knowledge at all. And I'm also interested in looking at language-related issues in teaching writing. And so in this aspect, I'm interested in looking at how the teaching of those skills would be different or similar depending on students' first language background. How would that be different if we're teaching international students, for example? Also, I'm very interested in looking at the teaching of quoting and paraphrasing from the language instruction perspective, and how that could be incorporated into the teaching of critical thinking and the projection of author voice and textual ownership in teaching writing. So those are some of my ideas, and I am just going to stop here, and I would love to hear what you think about this and any ideas for future collaboration. And here is my email contact if you would like to have more information about that and to explore collaboration ideas. Thank you.
Well, thank you. That was really fascinating and exhaustive. And in just 10 minutes, there was so much. And I love what you said about the writing apps. I recently heard from an instructor that she was shocked at how much one of her students was able to get, which one is it, Grammarly, to basically do those quotes too. So apparently Grammarly, the advanced one, can do as well, which really kind of, you know, recast the whole thing about what are we supposed to be teaching exactly when there are those apps out there that can do the work for you. And, you know,
Yeah.
it's an interesting dilemma to have. Are there any questions? Comments?